on what is to get an idea of what kind of face to use, right? But if you're solely into emojis, this is your book. Like, you want this one, and just simply have fun with emojis. Love this one. Okay, now speaking of cute and adorable, here is another really, really fun book that I love, and it's the 3D granny squares. There's 100 in there. Yes, I'm serious, 100. 100 of all of these. So when I say 3D, I'm serious with 3D. So you don't have just the flat pieces, but you have something on top of it, right? Whether that was made after the fact, right, or before, meaning whether you're going to sew it on or do it as you are crocheting around, right? So, I mean, look at this. There's a waffle, right? There's a lion, a kiwi, a sheep. I mean, it's so cute. So let's kind of go through these ones, right? So at least some of them. Because as I said, there's 100 of them. Like, just look at these, right? You see that there's some lace in between. And then there are some, right? Like, you can literally make endless amount of blankets using this. I mean, whether you're going to make a fruit blanket or an animal blanket or like literally a lace blanket, a fun blanket, just like mixture blanket, it like gives you everything. So when I say everything, I'm literally talking everything, right? So you have the picture, you have the symbols, and you have the written tutorial of it. So it really guides you through every single pattern, and you can see how many and how cute they all are. And I absolutely love this. I mean, can you imagine how many blankets? Or seriously, let's not just talk blankets, right? You can make pillows with them. You can make like bags with them. You can put it on as a, I don't know, a cardigan, right? Put it on a hat, like a hat that has granny squares, right? I just think it's so fun to have all these different granny stitches right here. I mean, seriously, look at this. Like, there's the Christmas elf, birthday cake, Santa belt, right? I mean, there's so many different ideas that you can use from these to make something really, really fun. And yes, it does talk about all the techniques and stuff like most of the books do, right? So they have all of these together. Do you love these books? Is it just me? I just love them so much. Okay, I have one more book for you. So we talked about 9 already. So now we have one more. Okay, so that one more book is this one. It's called Quick and Easy Crochet, and it has 100 little crochet projects to make. So when I say little, I'm talking little, right? So I never, by the way, as a designer, I'm going to put it out there, I never copy someone's designs. However, I do get inspiration from them. So for example, if I see here this watermelon, right, I would then figure out how can I make this, and this is in this case, it's a pouch, right? So how can I make this into maybe a hat or something, right? Or a bag, not even using the pattern, but getting an idea from it. Or seeing here this beautiful heart, how can I make this and like use a version of that I came up with myself, but knowing how these beautiful pieces look together, right? So let's talk about these. I mean, look, it's so pretty. I absolutely love these. So there's a lot of little projects in there. So when I say little, it's not just per se that they're little, but they're quick, right? And this is why I think it says quick here too. Yeah, quick. So a lot of quick pieces in here. Actually, we should go through these ones because they all are here, right? In the front. So look at these. So all of these are laid out. Let's go just through these because it shows you all of them. So we have a purse over here. We have hats in between. We have stunning pine cones in gold. Absolutely love this one. I have a pine cone differently made though. That's on my website. Absolutely beautiful. These patterns and cute. I mean, little tiny stockings, many different types of hats. Even amigurumi is in between, right? Small little projects. There's jewelry, as you can tell. There's like a bookmark. I don't know what this is. It just says have them, right? So I come back to this one, especially if you want a lot of lace stitches. then I come back to this book here and get inspiration from them. I mean, this book is really pretty too. It doesn't have the thing that I talked about in the other one. It just has this part, right? It doesn't show them all laid out. But it does give you a little bit more something in the front here. But as I said, I love this book, but I love the other one more. So let's switch around for a second. So tell me, have you gotten or have you seen any of these first 3 books that I just talked about? These books are really, really amazing, and I have them everywhere. Like literally wherever I go, I take them with me. So the next one I want to show you is this one, okay? This one is called A to Z Crochet, and this is, I believe, one of the first books I've ever bought when it comes to crocheting. When I really needed to explore some things, this is what I got. Because the reason for it is, let me start in the beginning here. The reason for it is because it really gives you that breakdown, right? So as I just told you earlier, I love when, especially for beginners, right? You want something that is really broken down. And this talks about left-handed and right-handed. So it's really for everyone. Figuring out how to hold your yarn, how to hold your hook, right? In different ways, how to do a certain stitch step by step. And it really gives you so many images that there's really no way not to succeed with these. It even talks about increases and decreases. And once it goes through the basics, you know, of all these stitches, then it goes into more detailed stitches. But it sticks with the theme of being extremely detailed on the pictures, right? The step-by-step pictures. It never kind of goes away, and which I thought was so amazing on this book. And when I do go somewhere, this is probably my second book that I take with me, for the reason being that it's super thin. And it's not so big, and as you can see on my screen, it is not the biggest book. It's not super heavy, so I can take it with me anywhere really and not have to worry too much, right? So this book and the second book that I showed you is probably the books that I take with me when I go anywhere. But this is a really amazing book for beginners as well, because of the breakdown of the stitches. So you can tell that these books are made differently, right? From different authors with a different purpose. Now, once you kind of get the hang of stitches, you're probably going to start exploring different types of yarn. I assume so, right? Because that's kind of what I did. Once I kind of got the understanding of how to hold a hook, how to hold the yarn, how to do a few stitches here and there, then I started exploring, wait a second, there's different types of yarn out there. And what do I do about this, right? So this one, I believe, was actually written for knitting patterns. For some reason, I don't know why, but I feel like this book is ideal for anyone, regardless if you're a knitter or crocheter, really, because even though it says yarn substitutions made easy, it doesn't per se talk about the exact substitutions. What it does talk about is the details of the yarn, like what is what, right? Like look at this one picture right here. Right, it talks about the fibers and all the the characteristics of all the fibers, and then what you can do with them, and what should you do, like be careful about when you have to substitute from one to another, or if you you know, take care of it, such as, you know, washing it or something like that. It's like in a complete book about yarn. And you know, how to figure out if you lost your label, like how to do the wraps per inches, and what kind of process you're going to go through to figure out certain things, such as gauge, like anything yarn related really is in here. And yes, at the end it has knitting patterns, which again, you know, I'm not a knitting designer or something, but it's kind of pretty and it's nice to have. But it is for sure a really great book to learn about all the different fibers and yarns that are available, and even the blends and what it does when you blend yarn together. Really amazing. I do have to say that I absolutely love this book when it comes to yarn knowledge. So if you want to kind of explore your yarn knowledge, this is the book that you want to get. Now let's hop right into the next section of books, which are actually not really stitch related, but they're incredible. So let's do this. Okay, the next book is absolutely one of my favorites. So now that you have learned a few stitches here and there, you have learned about yarn and yarn substitutions, let's get into projects that are really, really fun. And Sarah Zimmerman is one of my good friends from Repeat Crafter Me. Love her dearly. Talk to her often, and it's absolutely, she's amazing. And this book for sure is amazing. She goes in such and this is a really light book, by the way. If you really want to like go and traveling and just learn how to do amigurumi, this is a great book. It really talks about how to do every part of it. I mean, I'm talking every part, right? The joining of the parts. Like, she goes into detail. She's not just giving you all the patterns, but she's going into detail how to close the tops, the bottoms, whatever, the pieces of the amigurumi projects so that they're neat and they look good, right? And you can be proud of yourself in the end. And then how to weave in your, it's like literally every detail, including, you know, what to do about the nose, the eyes, the mouth, and all that stuff, right? And then she goes into all her cute amigurumi. Aren't they all so adorable? I mean, you can literally make them as big or little as you want. Seriously. So I believe she used here mostly worsted weighted yarn, and she talks about the differences, right, that she used. But I can tell you, if you just simply go up in or down in yarn weight, you know, with the corresponding hook size, of course, you